up?
What the fuck is up, y'all? Welcome back to Picture It Didn't Happen. I am the Jew. I am joined as always by my homie, the Yeti.
I am the Yeti, but you didn't have to cuss at him. And why'd you have to be all aggressive?
Because that's what I do.
Well, you do.
We are joined by a longtime friend of the show, Noise 13 from fucking Fuck Knuckle, Alberta, Canada.
That is correct. Hello, folks. I am Noise 13 from Fuck Knuckle, Alberta, Canada. I'm surprised you remembered Alberta, so you were making progress, actually.
Just remember, kayfabe, I have a name.
Yes, you are Jew, and you are the Yeti, and I am not to use your real names for some reason.
Because two of these people might not know us.
Yeah, and we also don't want people to get shot. So, right, I'm learning things from people that I know in America. Reasons not to do things: you don't want to get shot.
That's like number fucking one of
that
most
is
things.
Number one. Don't
So,
be shot.
As always, when you join us, you always bring a super special guest that blows our fucking mind. And I'm gonna admit it, I'm a bit starstruck, so this is gonna be pretty fucking interesting. Would you like to introduce yourself to the listeners, homie?
Me?
Yes, you.
Me? I'm just the dude who makes the music, bro. You know. Hey, man, I'm Fritz.
That's about the humblest fucking brag I have ever heard in my life.
I'm Fritz, just Fritz. Also known as
Fritz.
Fritz the cat.
Right, can I take over for a second? Fritz makes the underground go round. Really, he's probably engineered like all your fucking favorite albums that you ever heard. So there you go.
Chances are, if you're listening to this show, chances are what he just said is 100% correct.
Yeah,
absolutely.
This man has influenced something you fucking listen to.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, y'all.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on, Fritz. Always like to surprise you guys and bring in some big names, but I'm dropping this album here, and I thought, we're better off to start this fucking maple syrup murder, fucking deparation media tour, So thanks for having us.
Hold on, let's stop right there. Just say that again. That was the album name. Nobody fucking knows it yet. Say that one more time so they fucking heard you.
Maple syrup?
No,
No, just the end. So the album is called Deparation. That's the first announcement, and we're gonna be dropping everything today, and every like, you guys are the first stop. I appreciate you boys. You guys do a great job of what you're doing. So this is the first stop. But like in the next couple months, you're gonna see me all over the place talking about this fucking album.
So the first question I want to ask is, how did you choose the name?
Well, the name kind of came at the end. Honestly, it was like an evolution. Honestly, I think me and Fritz were going back and forth for a while on the name, just like joking on what it should be. But as I ended up making the album, if you listen to it from front to back, it kind of sounds like getting all the fucking like poison and all my life experiences out on one tray, and that's what it is. It's like getting the poison out of you, you know what I mean? Getting not necessarily the bad shit, just the shit that's been affecting you, That's really what it is to me. And the album art is a crow that's gotten shot with an arrow, and it's fallen, and it's like souls coming out of it as well, which could be another form of purging that poison, but in this case the poison is the soul.
Makes
absolutely
sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much hammer that home. I mean, and sounds like there's going to be a lot to delve into when you listen to these songs like we have. You guys should do it too.
They'll get to eventually. Now, the question I have is, how long has this project been in the works? Like, we met you at Astro. God, I think it's two fucking years now.
Oh my God, yeah, something like that.
Ugh. We met you there, and how long since then has this project, like, has it pretty much the entire time since after we spoke, basically, right?
So right after Astro was when it was getting its grounds. So I went to Astro, and I had a conversation with George there, and George pretty much said to me at that time, he's like, okay, well, let's put you in the room with Fritz, because the original plan was for me to go down and record with Fritz, right, at the studio.
But
because of COVID,
put his big dick right in that.
Yeah, that got fucked hard. That's what we did.
Much like everything that year, fucked directly directly in the eyeball with no lube.
But I don't quit though. I do not stop for anything, even a fucking pandemic. So when that happened, I had a conversation with George, and we switched it up. I was like, okay, I can get to a professional studio up here and get my vocals done up here, and send everything down to Fritz. And when Fritz started sending me beats, and we started going back and forth, that's really when everything started like kicking off like pretty crazy, actually.
Well, before we go any further, that's something I wanted to bring up. You sing and you rap, and that is something that I feel like it's a package that doesn't get explored as much as it should now. You do your own hooks. You don't need help from anyone. It's your voice through the whole thing. Do you feel like that helps you stand out a little bit from the pack right now?
You know what, man? Just to be completely honest with you, I never really thought about it like that. I honestly, when it comes to music, I just make music for me. I'm not looking to stand out. Growing up in this lane and being raised by this underground sound, it's always been like, be yourself. Don't apologize for being yourself ever. And as long as you're fucking being true to who you are and having integrity about what you do, that's all that matters, man. Like I'm not gonna lie, when people come up to me and they're like, "You fucking amazing, that was just shit," like that's always fucking great. But I'm never thinking about that for the after effect, man. Yeah, man, just for the love, I guess.
So Fritz, what was your first impression of our friend from the far north?
Well, I sent him like a collection of stuff just to see what he could do. The way that I would usually do it is, especially if they were local, is because if I get something from somebody, I know all the studio trickery that can be done. So usually I want to go see them live. But obviously that really isn't the case because number one, COVID, number two, he's in Moose Knuckle, Alberta. So I can't really like get up there. So what I sent him like a collection of all kinds of shit, and he was able to actually, and it was a collection of like more rap oriented stuff, more like rock oriented stuff, and like melodic stuff, and he basically could put something down to whatever I sent him. So that's what impressed me about the whole thing is that it's like the same way with Jamie. I'll send him some weirdo shit that it's like there's no way anybody can do anything with this, and they'll be able to do something with it. With him, it was like, okay, I sent him some shit. I'm like, I don't really even know what anybody would be able to do with it. And then he was like, here was one of my interpretations. So I'm like, okay, well, fresh, So
I fucking knew it. I knew it all along. I was like, he's testing me. But yeah, that's fresh. Thanks, Fritz.
It is fresh, because it's, when people get trapped in a like, okay, well, I can only do trap beats, or I can only do a type beat, or, they're super horrorcore and it can only be super creepy beat and they can't do anything else. It just like, you kind of get stuck in a rut and you're like, oh, okay.
Well, yeah, you have to be able to attack this with more than just one style, or else you become stagnant and boring.
Right, because you can go back and listen to Twisted from 20 years ago and be like, and not be like, well, shit, that was what was popping at that time. It's, with a lot of stuff, if it's a flavor of the month, it, 5 years down the road, you're like, oh my God.
It's like that thing, that noise I was telling you about, that all the yeah guys in the 2000s are using, that weird horn in the background. I noticed it everywhere. I was like, that is so terrible. Why did we listen to that everywhere?
My biggest example is the G organ in the early 90s. Don't get me wrong, I love West Coast hip hop, but not everything needs the G organ.
Right. Well, like right. I will say this about the album. I did, like, even before me and Fritz got to talking, I knew that the next project I wanted to do it for myself, but I also wanted to hit on like every like sound that I love in the underground, if that makes any sense. Well, like
I think you're gonna love this. It's an analogy I had the other night when I was rolling my face off. Your name And the album, what you said you wanted to do with the album is you wanted to bring different flavors of the underground. You wanted to bring all of the noise.
Yeah, fuck yeah. And that's the thing is you guys call me noise, but we're all noise. Like all of this is just a bunch of fucking chaotic like vibration that fucking exists for some reason. We're all fucking noise. When you're in the pit, you know that, brother. When you're in that pit, like we're all part of this fucking thing, you know? Like, yeah.
I really genuinely feel bad for the next person I'm gonna pit with.
Good video.
This animal has been caged for far too long.
You know what was crazy though was everything like I think I remember the conversation a bit when Fritz sent me those beats. He was literally like, okay, well I sent you some shit that's more rock and rollish. So it was like a let's see what you can do type situation. And those are some of my favorite tracks. Like there's a track there, Eat Crow.
That is honestly probably one of my favorite tracks on the fucking album.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, when like that one, the picture almost started coming in my head before I started putting the words together. Like the beat that Fritz sent, like the beats that he sends, they always paint a picture to me first, and then I go from there. But literally, the song is about like you're fucking starving. It's the end times, and you have to kill another scavenger, a fucking crow, to survive. But then you can flip the wordplay and look at it as, you know, sometimes you do things that you don't want to have to do. You eat your fucking words just to get through life, you know, like we're fucking survivors, you know. I got another line in there where it's like, what would life ever be like if, or when will life never be the same again, you know? And that's where we're at right now. It's just like, it hit me so hard. This whole album really relates to right now, you know?
Absolutely. Now, there is one thing you said there where you said it sort of paints that picture in your mind. So I would ask for Fritz, when you're creating these things, is there a sort of a vision, a story that plays in your mind that you see when you're putting together, or how does you sort of put that all together in your own mind?
I have got, and I was going through them, I've got literally hundreds of ideas down. I'll sit down, I'll start something, and I'll work on it. And then you're like, once you start not really vibing on it, you put it aside and then you work on something else. So I end up with all these like partial sketches, and then you go back and then you go through those, and the next time you'll listen to and be like, hey, I got an idea for that. You start putting it together, and then once it gets to about the 75% range is when you really get kind of a more of an idea of where really to go. So it isn't like I sit down and there have been a couple that sit down and just kind of like happen, and it'll end up, you know, start in the morning, and next thing I know, it's pitch black. I go upstairs and I'm like, all lights are out, and I'm like, whoa, where'd the day go? But you know, for the most part, it's kind of like you paint this base picture and you get your trees and the mountains, and then you kind of formulate the final picture when you get most of the way there. So it isn't.
It's very Bob Rossian.
Yeah, well, it's you know, I don't just sit down and make one beat and then it's finished. It's just like I've got literally hundreds of ideas, because it's just, you know, lead paint, brain damage, you know, heavy drug use, you know, all this stuff that is like, you know, just rattled my noggin. So you just kind of put little pieces down when you can get them, and then finally, you know, once you can see, okay, well, this is where this wants to go. I got to put guitars on this. I got to add some strings to it. And then, you know, it gets kind of a personality. And then hopefully you can send that to somebody and go, hey, I got an idea, you know, an idea for, you know, a theme for it. This paints the picture of that. Because I'm just painting with a bunch of sound ideas and not like, okay, here are the lyrics I'm envisioning. Because it's like, I just don't do lyrics, because the shit would be stream of consciousness, nonsense, weirdo stuff. Like I shoot the shit with that guy. Well, like when I shoot the shit with you in the middle of the night and you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know, that doesn't make any sense. I'm like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, fucking A. But I mean, lyrically, that's how I work too, is like I'm pulling from everywhere. The same way that you're working sonically, I'm working lyrically. It's manic. It's fucking, you had to get hit with a hammer at birth or some shit. Like, we are not normal people.
It's really cool to see that there's been such a friendship that's developed from working on this project together. So when you were going into this, the story you said you're going for a purging of the poisons inside. The tracks, some of the happier tracks, do you feel like when you perform them, it's going to touch the crowd a little bit more than you're expecting?
I don't know. People are reacting really weird to the happier ones. The one with Monoxide on it there, Down. It's
That's
like
that track's fucking awesome.
Thank you. But like that one's really surprising me how people are reacting to it because because like I don't know. I feel like it's happier, but I'm still talking about like getting drunk and stealing lawn gnomes and like being down in the dirt. But I feel like I get away with it because the rest of the album leads to blending you the rest of the story of where I've been, like how dark it's really gotten, you know. So I can give you guys a lighthearted track like that. Not lighthearted, even just lighter than the rest of the album. Actually, it's still pretty down there.
I mean, we don't want to end up, curled up in a basement crying ourselves to sleep. We need a little bit of levity to the situation.
That's what Jelly.
Right. Yeah, Jelly Roll's the fucking shit, by the way, too.
Absolutely.
You said his name, so I'm just gonna say
yeah, just put that out there.
But no, the whole album, and I really like if people are gonna give it a chance, just give it one chance from start to finish, because I really designed like I sat down and I listened to it and I really tried to make it so that it flowed as a whole feeling. Like even the last like 4 songs are like the more heavier ones, you know? And the second last track really kind of is like, it almost leaves you like in an emotional state. There's a guitar solo on it, and it's like you can keep going. You've been through the shit, but you can keep fucking going, motherfucker. But then the last song is like, I'm gonna pick you up and dust you off and send you home with a good time. You know, that the best track there, man. Holy fuck. Like the whole album.
People are not prepared for this. And the thing is I understand that there's a little bit of scrutiny going in already because you're a Canadian juggalo, but but I mean,
moose motherfucker.
you have a passion for this, and you can see this. And the thing is other people can see this passion. Some of the list of fucking features on this album, bro, you blew my fucking mind that you even achieved this.
Well, you know what, man? I would like to say that I blew my own mind, but it was a lot of hard work, and I just fucking did it, man. I went out there and I kicked ass, and I fucking did it.
So do you want to just list them off, or how do you want to go about this? Because
man, you guys' show. If you want to go ahead, drop news, brother.
Okay, so we have Gibby Stites, we have Lex the Hexmaster.
Fuck yeah. Okay, wait, stop there for a second. That fucking track with those 2 on it. Fucking that
you motherfuckers. Oh yeah, okay, fine. That's actually legitimately my favorite track on the album. So
thanks.
Must say, how did that come about? This track. This is no hook. This is all fucking flows, people. This is so good.
Lex is the shit. Lex is the one who really got me going into this shit. Like was like, take your shit serious and get going. So anytime I do something with Lex, I'm like, what the fuck can we do? And me and Lex usually do some like bars tracks, and I just wanted some rugged New York sounding like fucking just lyrically. And there's no hook on the motherfucker because we want to be like, I do sing, like you said, I sing too, right? Yeah. This is a track that's like, I can rap, motherfuckers. I can rap my ass off. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. It's just the old boom back, slap you in the face, fucking beat you down with the baseball bat, punch your mama type of. Don't wait. It's Mother's Day. I shouldn't say that. We're filming this on Mother's Day, and I'm saying that shit. Take that back. Rewind it. It's a good ass fucking track. Continue with the features.
Monoxide and Jamie Madrox, but not together, which I gotta say, honestly, sometimes I fucking love when the boys get broken up and they're featured separately on tracks. And in this situation, it worked really, really good. You also have Billy Obey and Lee Carver.
Yep, hell yeah.
Have I missed anybody?
Oh, the Horror does the hook on that one as well, and them boys fucking killed that. Yeah, man, how that one came together. So that's a track called "Survive the Night." That would
be one of the legitimately horrorcore tracks on the album. If you have to say, if you had to say there are. If we're breaking down the genre and this and that and this and that, this would be one of the legitimate horrorcore tracks.
Yeah, I would say that the album's like underground as fuck, but there's horrorcore tracks, there's hip hop tracks, there's more fucking rock. Like
that's where everybody gets it twisted. This underground shit, man, it's so big and it's so different, and it could be almost anything we want it to be.
The rule is there's no fucking rules. That's what the fucking rule is.
Well, I mean,
Forgive me for fucking being an artistic motherfucker, you know? Like
that's the thing. I've been listening to a lot of different things lately, and like there's undergrounds of every scene. So like we're just like one neighborhood in the underground.
This is
There's
very
some
true.
other scenes out there.
well, like Fritz was touching on, like if Twisted never would have evolved, the scene never would have evolved, you know? So we always have to be like fucking privy to new shit, you know what I mean? Like if somebody's a juggalo and they're making some weird noises with their mouth that sound good, I'm gonna check it out, you know? Like that's where I'm at.
I'm willing to give everything a fucking try. I'll say that out loud, because you know, not everything is great, but people are really, really pushing their asses off right now in this scene. It's a fixing. I feel like
there's going to be a resurgence like no other scene is going to see, because everybody in the underground's been getting ready. I mean, Fritz is working around the clock all the time on shit, and like everybody is just going fucking like hard right now. Like everybody's just like got like multiple albums ready to go, because we've all been sitting and been just like able to write like a million songs and shit, you know, like
not do anything with them.
Oh yeah, I noticed Yellow Wolf dropped like 4 albums like this month, I think, or something. It was crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So Fritz, what do you think your favorite track on the album is?
Oh, you know, that's like asking which one of your children are your favorite, you know.
But you have one, and you know you do.
Dad?
You know what? Not it's, and again, it's like he came at the ones that I did the way that made them better. It wasn't like, you know, everything, he brought everything up, but because they're different, it's like, okay, that one's dope, and he's got, you know, a couple of other fine ass producers on there that came with some awesome shit too.
This is very
So-
true.
So it's, I mean, it depends on my mood which one is my favorite. There is,
You know what? That's an answer. I'll accept that, because that makes sense.
If I can jump in quick, so Fritz produced 4 tracks for me. He produced Noise Town, The Best, fucking Eat Crow, and which one am I missing? God damn it, I can't think of names of the titles right now. I'm stoned.
That's a constant state, isn't it?
Sorry, but then we also had Lance jump on there, who's a legendary producer, produced for R.A. the Rugged Man,
Absolutely.
fucking
Thugs.
Mad Child, yeah, man, like a shit ton of people. And then we have Scatterbrains, who's Jelly Rolls and Struggles producer. He did a bunch of tracks for me too. Like it's man,
So many people have blessed this with just so much fucking love, man.
Dude, I have worked my ass off though. That's what I want. Like everybody, the haters especially, to know is this is not an overnight thing. I fucking wheeled and dealed and fucking worked my ass off, and that's what you got to do. You really do, you know.
Oh yeah, and so many people think overnight is over. It doesn't happen like that. Like
We've been at this shit for 2 years, and we're just now starting to gain some fucking traction.
yeah, and like those guys that like just show up and do like they're all over. You know, they're huge. Like that's these overnight things don't happen. You don't get people to back you that are good at the craft overnight.
Not if
you
want to stay like having integrity. If you want integrity and you want to do this shit your way, you have to work your ass off. That's it.
goddamn right.
Except for Fritz, everything comes easy for Fritz.
I knew it. I knew that had to be the case.
Well, I mean,
Right.
underground legend status. It kind of works that way, right?
Well,
You know what? No, Fritz is the
it-
shit.
It absolutely has not worked that way for me, because there isn't anything that anything worthwhile has been an absolute struggle. I've been doing this shit for, you know, I've been doing music for, you know, since I was 14, and I'm not anywhere near 14. But studio wise, I've been working in studios for 30 years this year. For 30 years working professionally in studios.
That's prolific
And
as fuck.
it's not like I can, and it's never been you sit down, it comes to you naturally. I got a knack for it, but it's not something you're just, oh yeah, okay, everything, everything just comes to me. It's always, it's always, it's always work. You gotta put time into it. You gotta actually give a shit about it. And that's why I've been doing it for 30 years, because no matter what, I don't care if it's, somebody that has never recorded before ever that needs a lot of assistance. It's like, be professional about it, and you never know that somebody who's just starting out, if they're going to be the next freaking superstar, and if you're just going to be like, be a dick to them, guess
Well, I
what?
mean, and that's something
Shot
that
yourself
happens
in
a
the
lot.
ass, you know?
There's a lot of people that they come into this with ego, and yes, there is bravado and there is ego necessary, but some people will turn people away from working with them because they are, like you just said, a dick.
I've had a shitload of people that it's been like, oh, I can either help them or I could just, there to hit the record button. And it really depends on how they come at it. And there's been a bunch of people that it's like, I don't even want to deal with them. And then there's other people, I'll do whatever I can, like Noise, whatever I can do to help him out. I mean, he's a good guy. He's, he's good. He's a good guy. He's good at what he does. And that's like, why wouldn't I want to help that out? So
That's
I
ridiculous.
I
That's
think
fucking high
this.
praise.
I think the second thing I ever said to Fritz was, okay, Fritz, I'm just going to let you know right off the bat, I'm fucking insane. I think I said to him, I was like, I'm a little bit manic. I'm always, my brain's going 110. So like, I'm sorry. I think I started apologizing right off the bat, real Canadian style.
That is
Yeah,
very
he was-
Canadian.
Oh,
Yeah,
you dropped the sorry. I heard
yeah,
it.
he was. Yeah, I heard a sorry in there too. So, and I know what that's about. So,
We don't even say Ubuntu. We don't even say that
yes,
shit.
you do.
Can't
No,
Don't
prove
lie to
that.
us.
You can't prove that.
Dog sled or get the fuck out. That's all I gotta say. That's it. Me and Fritz are rolling up to Astro in a dog sled because it's probably going to be snowing, because Michigan is like that, even though it's going to be August.
Well, I don't think it's gonna snow.
I don't think we'll get
it's-
one that early.
I don't think it'll snow in August.
I call it Michiganada because it's just extended Canada with gunshots.
That's true. Have you been able to wrap your head around the fact that Windsor, Ontario is south of Detroit? Have you been able to
How
pull
is
that
somewhere
together?
in Canada south of somewhere in America? That doesn't geographically, it doesn't make sense.
I almost
But
booked a hotel in Canada because I thought it was in America still. I was like, oh, why is it so? Oh, wait, that's Canada. Never mind.
Every time we're in Michigan, he jokes about dropping me off at a McDonald's so he can go across the border.
And one day I'm going to do it.
Bro,
Dude, we'll do it. We'll film it.
And I've got blunts rolled. I don't give a fuck. Do what you do.
Well, I when he was talking about fleeing over the border so that he could come here and record, I mean, I showed him on a map where I'll go pick him up, because I can take a canoe out to the Detroit River and cross on over to Fighting Island and pick him up over there under a cover of darkness. I'll flash a flashlight. We'll bring him back, and then he'll be in the States.
Right? This is
I-
all just a joke, though. If anybody's watching this on the internet,
I keep telling him he needs to come down to the meth lab downstairs, but
I'm coming though. I get my shot like tomorrow, I think. So I will be able to come as soon as possible, and I will be stateside for a while.
fucking
And
miss your ass, bro.
oh, no worries, man. I think Astro will be the first time I'm back down, but I gotta get down there. Like I keep bugging Fritz about doing some punk music too. So we'll see.
Yep.
We'll see.
Yep, that's on the
Oh.
list. That's on
Oh.
the list.
He says, yeah, the list.
I can only imagine how
We
big
got a
this-
list.
He's got to have a huge
how
list.
big this list is. I can only imagine.
I'm on his list. That blows my fucking mind. I'm on Fritz's list. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
on the list.
So I also want to bring this up. You were talking about Moose. You have a beat that is Moose's.
Yes.
Mises.
Yeah. So I was talking to Bill from Zool, and I sent him this samples of Moose, and he turned it into a fucking beat, which is titled Moose, and all the crazy noises you hear in it are all him taking Moose samples and fucking like affecting them and rearranging them sonically, and it's one of the darkest tracks there, but man, it's a fucking mosher. Like when you hear that bass sound off live, it's going to bring everybody in, and I can't wait to watch everybody kill each other to that one, man. Like, holy shit. Yes, though, we sampled mooses, meese, if you will.
Meese, if you will.
Whatever those might be.
Yeah, man. But the moose is very real, and that track is yet to be made yet. But all the other artists keep telling me I actually have to make a moose track, so that's in the works too. So
do you want to explain that to the uninitiated? just go ahead.
What is this moose?
So I'm a gatherer. I've been gathering since like I want to say like 2011 or 2010. You know, the memory's a bit faded. Drugs, right? But
that happens.
But how Canadians find each other at the gathering, because there's like 10,000 juggalos there. If we want some Canadian like beer or some maple syrup, is we moose, and that's how you find each other. But now it's slowly evolved into how my Americans find me, which has evolved into people who are just down with Noise and Noise Town, just moose everybody. So it's just really a confusing fucking hello now, I guess.
you brought back to Noise Town, and I wanted to bring this up. What a great way to start the fucking album, by the way. The tempo, it just sets it right up.
Well, that's what it was. That Noise Town is probably my mentality when I'm walking on the stage, like those 7 steps there. Fucking
thank you.
Noise Town is like setting. Yeah, hell yeah. Dirk's the shit. Shout out Dirk too.
That's the homie.
Yeah, that fucking butts and seats. You get that, bitch?
Oh, you fucking know it.
Right. Everybody go get that comic now. Anyways, though, fucking yeah, no, that whole mentality. Noise Town. I think there'll be a video coming for that one with kitties and titties and maybe some like D&D shots. I don't know, man. We're gonna have some fun with it, but it's gonna be trying to put my mentality onto a plate, you know. So that'll be a fun one. You guys will be able to play some songs at the end of these episodes and show off a few of them. I'll let you guys do that too, but so people can just understand more. But literally, we're gonna have lyric videos and music videos dropping throughout the next couple months here. Looking at probably a summer release, hoping shoot for August there. It's looking August, and like you guys are gonna see advertising everywhere, and like I buttoned it up this time. I made a plan. Like, actually, thanks Fritz and George for keeping me on my shit, honestly.
You needed just a little somebody to guide you a little bit, keep you on your schedule there.
Well, this is how I've described in my mind sometimes. It's a tornado, and I need it to be an arrow. And it sounds like that's what they were helping you with, is they were giving you the focus as opposed to it just all spinning out in fucking different directions.
Fritz said to me one time, he's like, what'd you say, Fritz? You said that artists are like, there's a fucking roof with holes in it and it's raining and there's buckets inside and collecting the water, but like one of the buckets like artistic, like writing lyrics and shit, and it's like huge and filling up with a lot of water, but then you got like a tiny little like fucking little like sippy cup, and that's
you almost Dude, got this right.
Okay. You do it.
You were super high when you said it. Well, basically when somebody has skills and abilities, you've got like a bunch of red solo cups, and on your average person, all your solo cups are got the average level of different personality traits and all this stuff. People with artistic, you have to dump several solo cups of basic abilities into those to end up with that artistic talent. You have to sacrifice some basic abilities to like be able to tell time or not be scared when the doorbell rings. So you get people that
come in or know when to come in when it's raining, not just stand outside.
And it's always been the case where every artistic person I've known is like there's been a sacrifice of some other thing that gives them that skill. So, you know, average person is just all their solo cups are right across the board. And then, you know, you got people like him where he's got like one solo cup that's just spilling over the top, and he's got a couple that are knocked over and have a bunch of
so if you see me standing in the rain outside of Astro, please tell me to go inside.
So that's the whole solo cup theory.
It's true though. It's
The-
very true.
I wanted to harken back to something from the last time we spoke when this was NetFest. Have you seen any increase from that? Do you feel like that had a good help to you in the recents? Those were words.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. You know what it is, man? It's the right eyes, and because I had to do the name change and all that shit, I lost like quite a few of the Fly By Night fans. But honestly, that NetFest, it got all the right eyes on me, and whether it was like gaining a bunch of fans or just like actual artists and like bigwigs looking at it and taking me more serious. Like I saw comments on there when it was playing that was like Noise was the standout of the tailgate and like huge compliments like that. And people were hating on me at the start, and by the end of it, the haters were like, "Nah, like that was the shit."
I have this philosophy. I fucking love haters. I have free space in your mind. You dislike what I am doing so much that it disrupts your day while I'm just over here smiling.
Man, I'm ready. I'm ready. Me and Fritz been talking our shit talking and stuff like that. I'm ready to go. Bring it up. I'll go back and forth with the best of them.
And that's something I want to bring up. You're a nice guy. You're really nice dude. Are you ready to go to fucking battle with these mouth breathing douchebags?
Dude, I've been gathering for like how many years? I've been going down to your fucking country to visit by choice. All right, you know, like I might go and do something stupid and move to Detroit one of these days. All right, so don't worry.
Don't
about
do that.
We'll come and fucking visit.
Why
Fritz, he's talking shit about Detroit.
is America like?
I talk
him.
shit about Detroit, you know? Jesus, what do you want me to do? Like, oh no, it's all wrong, you know?
Shoot him.
It's all lies.
They don't say something about you for almost 30 to 40 years and it not be at least kind of true.
Right.
You know what?
True.
If Fritz was worried about me, I'd be worried, but he says I'm good, so we're good. You know, I can talk that shit. I can hold my own. Don't you worry about me. Like I'm 6'1" and made out of fucking maple syrup. Let's go. You know.
Well, I don't know the maple syrup.
Maple syrup is strong as shit. Okay, you know what I mean. Have you ever tried to chug a thing of maple syrup?
No.
No.
Get at me then.
Because
That
no
sounds like-
fucking normal person does that.
Yeah,
That sounds like diabetes in a jar, right?
yeah. I
there.
thought this was that was an America thing.
No, even we're not
That's
that fucking
corn, the
bad.
corn syrup. That's America's corn syrup. So
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah,
It's in every
and
fucking thing.
and you guys' fucking like fast food tastes different. I don't know what it is.
Crack,
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
small amounts of crack.
it's deregulation. It's all rotten. So
Oh yeah, it's the byproducts or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah. I can't talk shit because then I'll get like barred from the country or some shit. America.
I can get you in, brother. I told you.
Yeah, he's got his canoe.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I could just fly though now. So I mean, I don't know that.
I
Yeah,
don't
but
know.
you-
how
but
to
fun
then
is
do
that?
then you miss the experience of
Of-
being in a canoe with Fritz.
That is
Smuggled across the border.
That's
gotta
a pretty
show- you
good
gotta show-
song right there, Axe.
gotta
I
show
mean,
the
yeah.
big
Like,
boot,
what
fucking
is what
coonskin
kind of
hat.
what kind of epic tale is that? Like, well, how'd you get to the U.S.? I took a plane. Like, oh, okay.
Oh,
Or is it like, you know, well, we got video of me being smuggled across the border.
We're gonna
into the
video
United
it. Why don't I just fucking put the cuff straight on? Like,
I mean, you can blur faces.
Yeah,
You can do the voice things or
yeah.
wear a
well,
mask.
all right, you heard it here first, folks. We're gonna have a DVD coming out of the fucking Great Crossing. All right, and I'll be smuggling in a bunch of Canadian goods too, like ketchup, chips.
I just feel like there's a music video in that. I really do.
I don't think
Right.
isn't our border with them pretty lax? Like, isn't it mostly just like woods?
Yeah, like you can accidentally cross the border
Yeah,
on
just,
a
like,
boat,
accidentally,
not even
what
realize you
happened?
did it.
Yeah,
Just to
I
be
think-
clear to any like law officers watching.
Like we're not
All
doing,
right?
we're not actively doing this. We're just
And if
saying
we
you
make a
do it.
video,
No,
it was just like a hoax. It never
Yeah, yeah,
actually
yeah.
happened.
Completely
it's
fake.
right
Yeah.
down here, right across from Wyandotte. It's like it's kind of like mixed woods and little industrial area. You know, it's like what you know.
Just
People
wander
take-
through.
People take boats out into the river. You know, is there anybody just like super watching, like a boat from point A is crossing over to? Man, they smuggle drugs. they'd smuggle drugs with jet skis. You know, they used to run
Prank
liquor
call,
across
prank
it.
call.
So
That just sounds like living your best life. Just on a jet ski with like four bricks of coke behind you. It just sounds like the funnest thing ever.
it
Jesus.
doesn't sound like that it'd be all that difficult to do, you know. But well,
Just-
see,
I'll just press like a bunch of fucking of the covers, a bunch of the albums, and bring them over just so we have like something to be braggadocious about. Be like, these are illegal, you know? Like,
right, exactly. Like what? Well, how'd you get your album in the States? Oh, well,
Smuggled it
a,
in.
a
Canoe,
distribution-
bitch.
a distribution deal? No.
No.
Yeah, they came across in a freaking rubber raft tied behind a canoe.
Right? And then in the
Hidden under a tarp.
wintertime, we definitely got to do the dog sleds. We'll
Dog
just be
sleds
running dog
outside.
sleds across the border.
Yeah.
You know, I have always wanted to do that whole dog sledding thing, but the problem is like that means it's really cold.
And you're a pussy when it comes to cold.
I don't. I'm not a fan.
Americans aren't allowed to complain about the cold. I'm sorry. Like if you were a Russian, yes, go ahead. But Yeti, shut up.
Yeah.
I mean, you live in a tundra. I don't know.
I get the minus 50 up here, and that's minus 50 in Canadian, not minus 50 in American. Like you can lose like a nose from not having it covered up. Like it's fucked.
Why the fuck would you
Yeah,
live there?
exactly. That's insane.
Why
to
would you
me.
choose to live there?
I was born here.
I'm
I have
talking
an
to your
off-
ancestors,
offspring
bro.
now. Oh, they're Irish. They're fucking chased out of Ireland, probably. I don't know.
Well, fair enough. Got to go somewhere, I guess.
you
thought
you
it
know what?
You said
Man.
it was your love of the tar sands that the reason that you're there. So
Yeah. No, my mom's in with the oil, and she's in with the oil there. So I was born up here due to them loving money. You know, I'm in a boon town up here. Actually, this place had the biggest fucking ever evacuation for a fire in Canada. I was part of that. Then we got a flood happened, and now we're in a state of emergency currently because of COVID. So, good shit.
Yeah, you need
nice
to
place
get
to
the
live.
fuck, you need to get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, I saw all those posters. I was like, man, he's just getting it rough up there.
I think I'm gonna move to Windsor, honestly, just so that when I want to go back to Canada from stateside and get some of that free healthcare and shit, you know, like if I get shot in Detroit, I'll just be like, nah, just give me a ride to Windsor, please. I don't want to pay for no fucking $1,000 million fucking bill, you know.
I mean, it's fair.
Sorry, you guys look like actually concerns about yourselves now that I'm making jokes about that.
Nah, not
That shit-
in any way.
yeah, that shit's not funny, bro.
No.
We don't got the healthcare. Don't joke about that.
Oh, you do if you know the right people.
Yeah.
And by that I mean have the right job.
Yeah, well, gee, yeah. I mean, that's you guys. Let's not get started down that road,
Yeah,
man. Like,
it's a
we-
terribly depressing.
Comic books, mics, and dope clothes. Finally going pro with these broke poems. Broken family and broke homes. Getting drunk as fuck and stealing lawn gnomes. I don't give a fuck what you thinking noise is. Truth of the matter, already hearing voices. Bars are not a problem. I'm Irish and I got 'em. Living in the bottom, but my whiskey barrel's going rotten. I've been living so far down, so far down. I've been living so far down, so far down. Back and forth, kind of swords, cohorts, make a corpse, lock a room, holding court. Because of course, when you outspoken and broken of sorts, they don't like your style, wanna change your shorts, make you to a corpse. That's the dead man talking. Christopher Walken, kinda talking, no job interview. Interlude to a coffin, spice of life, what you copping, no problem. I've been living so far down, so far down. I've been living so far down, so far down. Lyrics over attitude, but I got that too. always had to act like the moms didn't say shit and fuck on a daily, and got me down with the granny shillelagh. I've been living so far down, so far down. I've been living so far down, so far down. I've been living so far down, so far down. I've been living so far down, so far down.
I'm cold as ice, like hopeless nights, feeling like broken heights. I can't focus right, think I might float through life like a ghost in flight. Am I supposed to give a fuck about those who die? I'm the chosen, you can't even get the door open. Just a backstage token with your hand out, trolling for the next man, hoping that it pans out, knowing that every move that you make is with a backstab motion. What a coward, no heart like D. Howard. And I don't need a wizard to show me you sound ridiculous, homie, so inconspicuous. Phony views and the listeners only capture beginners. I'm living amongst the sinners, standing on top of winter. Below me is just a fire that's burning up the pretender. Gotta make him remember I'm the last hope. When the back broke, the levee gave, and I was standing all alone in a shallow grave.
I've been living so far down, so far down. I've been living so far down, so far down.